Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 5th of April 2023. Let's start with our session. World Health Organization certified which countries as malaria free recently? So recently WHO has certified the countries Azerbaijan and Tajikistan as malaria free countries. And they succeeded in eliminating the Anopheles mosquito-borne disease in their territories. And in these two countries, the last cases of regional spread of Plasmodium vivax malaria were discovered in 2012 and in 2014. Fine. So finally, these countries have become totally malaria-free. Now, recently we have seen that the country Finland has become the 31st NATO member. What is NATO? North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the headquarters lies in Brussels in Belgium. Okay. What is the currency of Finland country? It is Euro, and capital is Helsinki. And who is the current Prime Minister of Finland? It is Sanna Marin. Okay. Now, recently Saudi Arabia country has become the SCO dialogue partner. This question is very important. And Hamza Yusuf has been elected as the leader of Scottish National Party. Fine. Next is, which country is the host of International Conference on Human-Wildlife Conflict and Coexistence? So the International Conference on Human-Wildlife Conflict and Coexistence is being held this year at Oxford in the country UK. And it is being organized by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, that is IUCN, the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, and United Nations Development Program, etc. Fine. Important thing is which country is the host for this conference. Answer would be UK. Now, a few days back, we have seen that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has addressed the One World TB Summit at which place? In Varanasi. Right? And when do we observe the World TB Day? It is observed every year on 24th of March. And this year, the theme is, yes, we can end TB. Fine. Now, also recently, the country UAE has hosted the first I2U2 Vice Ministerial meeting to address the issues that are related to management of energy crisis and food security. And which countries comes under I2U2? These are India, Israel, US and UAE. These four countries comes under I2U2. Next is IMF's Extended Fund Facility has been recently approved for which country? So International Monetary Fund's Extended Fund Facility is intended for the countries experiencing serious medium-term balance of payment issues due to structural weakness that require time to address. And recently it was approved for the country Ukraine to meet the urgent funding requirements amid the war with Russia. Fine. And talking about the country Russia, recently Russia has test-fired the supersonic anti-ship missile, the name of which is P-270 Musket missile. Where? In the Sea of Japan. You can be simply asked that Musket missile is associated with which country? Answer would be Russia. Also, Financial Action Task Force has suspended Russia's membership because of its invasion on Ukraine. And what is this Financial Action Task Force? It is a global organization that monitors financial crime. Fine. Next is, which country recently held a referendum on a new constitution, April 2023? So Uzbekistan country held a referendum on a new constitution, and this constitution seeks to declare Uzbekistan country as a sovereign, democratic, legal and social state. And also constitution enshrines the new rules from personal rights to expanding the powers of parliament. Fine. So which country recently held a referendum on a new constitution? Answer would be Uzbekistan. Now can you tell me which state is associated with the Cow Service Commission Bill? This is a bill of Maharashtra state government and aim is to preserve indigenous cattle breeds. Now, which state is related with Advocate Protection Bill? This bill belongs to Rajasthan state government and aim is to prevent offences against the advocates. Now you have to tell me which state is related with Media Persons Protection Bill. And the Protection of Drinking Water Catchment Areas Bill is associated with Arunachal Pradesh and aim is to preserve drinking water sources. Fine. Next is Nevado del Ruiz Volcano, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which country? So this is a volcano in Colombia country on the Pacific Ring of Fire. And currently it is experiencing seismic activities which creates a possibility of eruption in the near future, and it is the highest active volcano in the Andes mountain range. Fine. Now if we talk about different volcanoes that were in news these days, first is Kilauea volcano. It belongs to Hawaii Islands. Second is Mauna Loa volcano. It also lies in Hawaii. And what is the special feature of this Mauna Loa volcano? It is the world's largest volcano. Then another is Mountain Nyiragongo, and it lies in Democratic Republic of Congo. Another is Fuego volcano and it lies in the country Guatemala. These are the important volcanoes that were active in the recent times. Next is, when is the World Autism Awareness Day observed every year? So we observe this day on 2nd of April every year, and this year the theme is transformation towards a neuro-inclusive world for all. This is the theme for this year, and this year's celebration focuses on the contribution of autistic people in the home, work, arts and policy making. Right? So we observe the World Autism Awareness Day on 2nd of April, and this year the theme is transformation toward a neuro-inclusive world for all. Now when do we observe the World Sparrow Day? It is observed every year on 20th of March, and this year the theme is I love sparrows. Okay. Also, International Day of Forest is observed every year on 21st of March, and this day is also known as World Forestry Day, and this year the theme is forest and health. Fine. Now next is Utkala Dibasa is observed on 1st of April to commemorate the formation of which Indian state? So this is observed on 1st of April and it is observed to commemorate the formation of Odisha state after its separation from Bihar and the Odisha province. So your correct answer would be Odisha. Now when do we observe the National Maritime Week? So government is celebrating the National Maritime Week from 30th of March 2023 to 5th of April 2023, paying tribute to the services of the seafarers. So we observe this week in which particular month? Answer would be April. Fine. Next is, at present, how many percentage of inhabited villages in India have declared themselves as ODF plus? First of all, what do you mean by ODF plus? So ODF plus village is the one that sustains its ODF status and ensures the management of solid and liquid waste while remaining visually clean. And currently more than 40% of inhabited villages in India have declared themselves as ODF plus. Okay. Now you'd have heard about the Foreign Trade Policy 2023. And now you have to tell me, this policy aims to boost India's merchandise and services export by 2030 by how much percent? So Indian government has unveiled its foreign trade policy which seeks to boost merchandise and services export by $2 trillion by 2030 from the current level of $765 billion. And the policy also seeks to make the Indian rupee the global currency in settling international trade payment. Fine. So answer would be $2 trillion. Next is, who is the first ex-president of the US to be charged with crime. So former US President Donald Trump becomes the first ex-president to be charged with crime, and he will be charged over hush money payments made to a porn star just before the 2016 presidential election. And also he is being investigated in several other cases. They include the probes into his role in the US Capitol riot of January 2021, his efforts to overturn his loss in the state of Georgia in 2020 election, and his handling of classified documents after leaving office. Okay, so the first ex-president of the US who has been charged with crime is Donald Trump. The last question says, Sagar Setu application is associated with which union ministry? So Union Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways launched the application version of the National Logistics Portal named as Sagar Setu. So it will provide real-time information on the activities that are generally not within the reach of the importer, exporter and the customs broker. Fine. So Sagar Setu application is associated with Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with our revision session, in which we are doing the current affairs for the month of February. And today this is part 4 because we have missed the part 4. We did 1, 2, 3, then missed 4, then we did 5th and 6th part, right? So today we'll cover this 4th part, and after that we'll move to 7th part. Fine. So let's start with question number 46. In this, we would be covering the questions from 46 up to question number 60. The US defense officials have shot down a surveillance balloon of which country? So after floating over the US for days, a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon has been shot down by the US defense officials. As per the Union Budget 2023, what is the per capita income in India as of date? So Finance Ministry has told that the per capita income in India has more than doubled to 1.97 lakh rupees in over the past 9 years. Okay, and the EPFO membership has more than doubled to 27 crore. Which state or the union territory recently notified the directions to charge groundwater extraction by industries and other establishment? So recently the state government of Punjab has notified a policy to meter and charge the groundwater extraction by the industries and the other establishment. Which state or the union territory child rights body launched its WhatsApp chatbot for more effective interaction? This is New Delhi. So Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights, means DCPCR, has launched its WhatsApp chatbot for more effective interaction. And this chatbot will be used for complaint registration, searching information and tracking the complaint status as well. Next is, the Union Budget announced a mission to eliminate sickle cell anemia by which year? So Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman told that the centre will work in mission mode to eliminate the sickle cell anemia by the end of 2047. Next is, which institution released the prospect for children in the polycrisis report? This report has been released by UNICEF. Which union ministry released the e-waste management amendment rules 2023? So it has been released by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. What is the expansion of PVTG with respect to the government scheme? So it stands for particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay. So Prime Minister stated that Pradhan Mantri PVTG development mission will be launched to improve the socio-economic conditions of this particular vulnerable tribal group. Scientists from which institution sequenced the draft genome of 4 native Indian cow breeds? Answer is IISER, Bhopal. So scientists from Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Bhopal, have sequenced the draft genome of 4 native Indian cow breeds. India agreed to constitute the task force to boost cooperation in semiconductor industry with which country? So India and the USA have agreed to constitute the task force to boost cooperation in the semiconductor industry. And this task force will involve India's semiconductor mission as well. Which city is the host of the first G20 Sustainable Financial Working Group meeting? Answer would be Guwahati. So the very first G20 Sustainable Financial Working Group meeting was recently inaugurated in Guwahati, Assam. What is the total budget outlay announced for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana? So in the Union Budget 2023, the government enhanced the outlay for PM Awas Yojana by 66% to 79,000 crore rupees. And Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is an initiative of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Which institution releases the Digital Payment Index? It is released by Reserve Bank of India. Which country has found the radioactive capsule that went missing in the month of January? Answer is Australia. So Australia has announced that they have found a tiny radioactive capsule which went missing last month, and it contains a small quantity of cesium-137 which could cause skin damage, burns or radiation sickness. Which union ministry along with the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment implements the Namaste scheme? Answer is Bihar. Answer is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Basically, Namaste is a central sector scheme of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and it is a joint initiative of the Social Justice Ministry and the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. What is the full form of Namaste? It stands for the National Action Plan for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. Fine. So these are the next 15 questions from the month of February, and tomorrow we'll discuss its 7th part. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Munuzat Sana signing off.